life been a derelict, derelict. All my friends, they wish me dead, they wish me dead. Every day is filled with dread, filled with dread. All my life been a derelict. I've got the turning clues, following me, falling into everything that I do, everything I kiss through feels so typical. I've got the turning clues, following me, falling into everything that I do, everything I kiss through feels so typical. My life been a derelict, never change, yeah, I swear to it. And of all the times I've been down and out, this time was different, I welcomed it. Every day that I fail to quit, I wind up here in the state I'm in. The heavy weight, cause it's bound to break, I need a break to the skin I'm in. Tip of my tongue tastes like battery acid. Try to push forward, I cannot push past it. Feel the blood on my tongue, it tastes metallic. Another day passes, I don't break the habit. Feels so typical. I've got the turning clues, following me, falling into everything that I do, everything that gets so feels so typical. I've got the turning clues, following me, falling into everything that I do, everything that gets so feels so typical. There's been plenty of moments that I fell in hard times. More often than not, getting faded was my lifeline. I realized that I've always struggled with change, but sometimes you gotta rearrange before you go insane. I've been doing my best to stay true to myself, put my next foot forward and smoking dope for my health. I never give up the music till I'm rolling in wealth. Some days I swear this basement's my own personal hell. Well, I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you. I confess I'm obsessed with the sex. Heart palpitations every time that she texts. I admit that we ain't always been the best for each other, but what is love without the little test? Girl, you know you're my sneaky link. When I'm with you, my ego shrink. I'm just craving time for us alone. I think about you every time I'm home smoking dope. I love the sound of the city. Goddamn, I love the sound of the city. Yeah, yeah. I'm wide awake when you're with me. I feel better when you got my back, yeah. Red eyes, I'm sky high. I think this might be the best night that I've ever had, that I've ever spent with you.
What's up, everyone? Happy Wednesday. Happy to see all of you here. I don't know what that other audio... If there was another audio coming in, I apologize. Having some audio issues. But anyways, awesome to see everybody here. Gonna talk today about the correction. I've been tweeting it nonstop for like the last month and a half, it seems. You know, everyone's saying, oh, we're just gonna keep going up forever. That's not how it works. And last but not least, a lot of my tweets have been alt-focused. Want to cover two things on that. And we're going to get all that after we get through kind of equities, dollar, total charts. When we get into Bitcoin, we'll talk about all that. So, rate decision today. Didn't cut rates. Why are we pumping? Obviously, a bunch of different reasons. I have them listed out here. I kept this kind of list here for a while. And guys, at the end of the day, inflation came in very, very flat. I know that I have inflation data here on the Dow Jones. This is flat data. That means whatever they're doing, whatever the rates that are right now, is keeping everything flat, keeping everything really preventing the rate of inflation to go up. Now, I know the cost of goods are high, right? Like groceries are high. But if you think of rate of inflation, right, what they've been doing, so the inflation rate's been going up, right? What they did is they increased rates to make the rate of inflation go down. So by increasing rates, inflation's going down. And the question is, do they need to increase them more? Can they start to decrease rates again? Can the overall... Like, if they start to decrease rates, will inflation start to skyrocket? That's kind of the question. But outside of that, we have all of these other factors. And I have a bunch of them listed here. There's hundreds and hundreds of factors, but regardless, lots of reasons to continue a pump, right? Ultimately, and I'll be the first one, hopefully, that you guys are seeing say this. This is likely the last upward tick in our 13, almost 15-year-long bull market. So essentially you have, and if you look at the grand scheme of things, right, you have big upward move, sideways consolidation, big upward move, and we're probably approaching the last leg. And there's a big theory in this. I can't remember what the book's called, and honestly, I don't feel like looking it up. But we're essentially in the last extension, and it is the least expected. It doesn't follow typical rules, I guess, in terms of technical analysis. You know, we're kind of disobeying the yield curve. We're disobeying how markets fluctuate with rates and rate increases. So ultimately, likely the last rise. Now, I had the theory that this was recession. I still kind of think it was recession. But if you think about it, the COVID push pushed us all the way up. This could be correction, and now we're going to get that last wave higher. How high? I have no idea. How long? I have no idea. That's kind of where it comes into play, where it's saying, hey, no one really knows how high or how long this will last. My theory is probably mid-2025. So, and that's the other thing, like crypto is accelerating. We're already at all-time highs. Like in Bitcoin's history, we have never been at all-time highs this quick. So my thought is maybe we're just following the economy in a certain way. Maybe BlackRock's buying so they can make a bunch of money now, cash it out. You know, then we see that big market downturn, that big depression, recession that everybody's talking about. Low views today. Bear market is real now. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. I almost feel like, and I would never do this, but like I tell people to do stuff, right? I told you to buy at 17,500, right? I told you to sell at 69K. What was that? Not 69, but like in the 60s in November, right? I was bearish in April, May, really March, April, May of 2021 as well. And here I am telling you, you know, buy alts. It's time to buy alts. Buy alts. No one gives a shit, right? Trying to do the right thing, trying to help you guys out. I'd rather help you than hurt you. But sometimes I wonder, like, what would happen if I just tweeted what everybody wanted, right? When we see those big red candles, I could say, oh, the market's bearish as hell. But when we go green, I could tell you, oh, you know, it's just the whatever. Pretty wild. But I also haven't streamed, and it's a little early for the stream today. Asking for a friend. He missed Tao at $200, whereas I bought it. Should my friend buy now over $600? It's up to your friend. First of all, I'm not a licensed financial analyst. I can't tell you what is good to buy and what is not, but here's the thing. You look at this chart, right? Look at this chart and tell me, hey, you should buy, right? No. You really should never buy a chart that looks like this. If you did not get in, I would say in this range, don't buy it. Because you never know, right? Maybe this thing does something crazy, right? Maybe we do that. But what if we don't do that and you just bought the top? You're better off buying a chart that looks like this, right? You're better off buying something now. This is pumped, but it's not making all-time highs. And even a chart that looks maybe like, a better example is like maybe like CRV. This chart's not moved at all. These are the charts you want to focus on buying. Plus, there's a giant double bottom here, right? Retest, probably going to go up. So if I was your friend, if you're going to be a good friend to him, first of all, every investment you make, there's risk to. But I wouldn't be buying charts that have a lot of green. You should have been buying red. Yeah, I agree with you, Dorian. It's just like not in my nature. Plus, like, everyone's right and wrong about certain things. I'm not right all the time, but like from a macro point of view, when you see a giant uptrend and you get this like correction, it's like for Bitcoin, for example, like when you see this big correction or even like something like this. Now, ultimately, I did believe this was going to turn into a head and shoulders. It didn't. But even when you see these large corrections, or even like a better example, when you see this, you buy. You buy when you see a red. You don't buy when you see green. It's pretty absurd. Looking at the dollar. So the dollar tanked. This is good. Why is this good? I had fears that this would turn into a double bottom, and it doesn't look like it is. We'll probably range here and then go down, and that kind of eliminates that double bottom, possibility, because you have to think like basically S&P 500 and Bitcoin are inversely correlated to the dollar. If the dollar goes up, both of those go down. If the dollar goes down, both of those go up. So really liking this rejection. I'm guessing it's coming from Powell's speech today. Huge. I think the S&P, the S&P obviously new all-time highs. Super exciting stuff. I mean, we're so bullish, it's not even funny. I can't even believe all the tweets I'm reading on Twitter or X about, the bull market being canceled, Bitcoin going to a triple top. Like, BlackRock is buying an egregious amount of Bitcoin every day. You can't make the argument that we're about to go down 50% from here. It's pretty absurd. Elliott waves, I don't look at Elliott waves. I think Elliott waves are pretty useless. Elliott waves are like, the problem with Elliott waves, and if you're successful with Elliott waves, all power to you. But the problem with Elliott waves is people just draw random shit, and then like, oh, if that count isn't it, then it's this, or it's this, or it's this, or it's this. And if one of those are right, they're like, oh, see, I was right. And it's like, what? Plus, you have like all these different counts. Or like you have an XYZ or an ABC. It's just too complicated for me. I mean, if you find success, all the power to you. I just personally don't like them. Let's move into total. So I'm going to show you all three total charts, and I want you to take something away. I talked about this today in the private analysis. Look where we're bouncing, right? Prior resistance, new support. And I'm just going to do total real quick. Look at this. Bouncing, 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 right? Total 3. Bounce, bounce, kind of rejections over here. Look where we're bouncing. Or, we're obviously rejecting our resistance, but we're bouncing. The market just bounced, right? I think that correction's over. We found support. We found a major support area on pretty much all the total charts, even Bitcoin, right? When we get into Bitcoin, we'll talk about that. But I know I went over it quick, but that's all I wanted to say here is look at the bounce. Look where we're starting to consolidate. Also, look at RSI. RSI is finally going down. We can finally head upwards again. Same with total 2, right? And same with total 3. I tweeted about comp. I don't think I've ever tweeted about comp. If I compare Filecoin's market cap with its price, you'll see that most likely it won't pump. Can you take a look at it? Why wouldn't it pump? If an influx of money goes into alts, all of them are going to pump. Doesn't matter what. And then Tether. Look at this, right? We bounce. Where do we reject from? Where we've rejected from in the past. So, in my opinion, the market correction low is in. Maybe slightly lower. You know, I don't think that we're just going to zoom upwards from here. I think we're going to spend several weeks. Kind of dancing around. I had drawn this out. You know, it's not the cleanest drawing in the world, but some consolidation. Why? Our weekly RSI needs to come back down. If we can make bullish divergences here, that'd be huge. Right? That'd be huge, and we can go break all-time highs, have plenty of room, move up another 100% from here if we really want. Looking at the daily, I mean, insane bounce. Right? You look at daily RSI. Where are we at? Right? We're here. We're actually underneath where we were at 42K. Right? We have so much room to go up from here. Now, a couple things again. There's always a chance that we head straight upwards, but if we dance here and then head upwards, that just gives our weekly more time to reset. And in my opinion, that makes for a much stronger, much more powerful move. I mean, Tao's not a bad buy, but you have to remember, and this is why I'm not talking about Fetch. Like, look at Fetch. I would never buy a chart that looks like this ever in my life. Never. I've already bought it too. You have to kind of face the facts of, do you want to take a chance and buy something literally at highs where it could do this and go higher? You know, if we get a huge correction like that, what is that? No, if you get a 60% correction here, that's huge. You can buy that. But I would not buy this at highs. And the same goes for Tao. Tao's only corrected. Tao has corrected 15% from all-time highs. Right? It's up 15x. You don't buy things that are up 15x. You know, you buy things when they're down 50, 60%. And like Crow, a better example of something to buy. Look at Crow. Crow went down 36%. It's still down 30%. Much better buy, in my opinion. Even like something like Filecoin. Ultimately, Filecoin looks great. I don't know why the Filecoin hate, but Filecoin went down 35%. Look what it's doing. It's retesting resistance, turning it into support. What if this bounces around and heads higher? So, like, again, if your friend likes Tao, likes everything it's about, then buy it. But if you're asking me about technical analysis, I would never buy Tao at these prices. I stopped buying a long time ago for that reason. I know, but File is 1/24 of its all-time price, but its market cap is almost 50% of what it was at all-time highs. Okay, so Filecoin is still down. Okay, first of all, you can't use a wick like this. Filecoin's still down 97%. In my opinion, it's I don't know why the Filecoin hate too. It's down 97%. This is something I would buy. 100%. Even if it goes to $50, even if it goes to like half of what it was, $100, whatever, it went all the way to $250. Imagine it goes to $100. Let's say it goes to $100. I think I bought this in the, let's see, it's what, $850? I think I actually bought this in like the $750s. I think we bought some actually in the $5s as well. I'm not sure. Honestly, I need to double check. But even if it goes to 100, let's say our average is right now. Let's just say that the current price is our average. Okay, so we get a 850, whatever. You're looking at an 11 to 12x. I don't know why anyone would be mad about that. Like and just my rule of thumb, and to give you guys a little bit of a clue, if we do a 10x from here, I'm selling everything. I don't give a shit what the market does after that. I'm selling everything, and I'm just going to chill. Like, I'm probably not going to do as much, at least for a little while. I'll probably take a huge break from Twitter, from Discord, from everything for a long time, because I've put a lot of time and energy into this market, and it's paying me a lot. Even if it's just a month. But, essentially, I'm just hoping to get a 10x. I don't care if we break all-time highs. If I get a 10x, I'm happy. If I get a 10x, I'm several millions of dollars. I wouldn't say 10 million, but close. And life is easy from then on forward. It probably won't pump because it won't bring more billions to market cap. I'm sure it's going to pump, just like every altcoin will. And even if it doesn't, and the other 20 altcoins I have do a 10x, then that's okay. You guys have to remember, you can't just pick out like specific bits and details. Like, you should never put all of your money in like something like Crow. And not saying Crow's bad, but you need to spread it out. Like, everything you're seeing here, I have money in, essentially. I actually do not have money in all of these. We actually went over these this morning. I did have a ton of money in Algo, but we got hacked. So, unfortunately didn't get anything that. But you're talking Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Link, BNB, ICP, Ajax, Sol, Fetch, Tau, Crow, Digibyte, Gala, Doge, EOS, File, Mana, Sand, and CRV. We have money in everything, right? I have money. We have money. Everything you see on this list. So if one of them doesn't do a 10x, but everything else does, I'm still selling everything. You're telling me a 50 billion market cap, that's almost impossible? How is that impossible? You realize ADA, literally one of the worst altcoins in my opinion, it's completely useless, had a 95 billion market cap during the last bull run. And you're telling me a 50 billion market cap is impossible? My man, you need to go check the old market caps of some of these alts, especially some of them that were, look at Doge, for example, right? Or look at anything. Look at any of the alts that pumped significantly last bull run and look at their market caps. And then tell me it's not possible. Especially when we have hundreds of billions of dollars flowing into this market from institutions. Like I don't know, Doge is like a bad example, but like Doge pumped ridiculously. Doge had a huge market cap. And you're telling me something like Filecoin can't, or something like Link can't, or BNB can't, like all of these. BNB is approaching all-time highs. Like, all of these, and just so that you guys know, I don't know if this is your first bull run. I don't know, I don't know your experience, but every single one of these alts, right? Every single one of them is going to pump, whether it be 10x, whether it be 20x, whether it be whatever it's going to be, right? Some of these AI coins like Tau, Ajax, ICP, what else? Fetch. Like, a lot of these AI coins are obviously going to do the best. That's typically how it goes. Some of the gaming coins, Mana, Sand, those are what's going to do the best, right? Supposedly. Now, you can't go into that mindset of, oh, they're going to do the best and bet the whole house on it. No, that's not how you properly invest, because there's always a chance we don't. Is it time for a Bitcoin short? My man, we are in a bull market, and you want to short. That's crazy. All right, but let's get back to Bitcoin. So daily, would really like to see this range a little bit more. I'd really, really, really like to see more of a range. So that way we can get a setup. If we just pump straight through and go above all-time highs and go to like 80, 90K, I'm fine with that. What I'm not fine with is, I obviously am not going to get a trade set up there, which sucks, but it is what it is. I want to see a range. That way we can get in. We have maybe a reversal pattern. We have divergences. We have multitudes of confluence to take a trade. Right now, I don't have it. Plus, the weekly is still pretty overextended, so we could still spend a couple more weeks consolidating. The 4 hour, yeah, I mean, and just to make it even clearer, what I think happens, and again, my lines are not drawn by God. Like I don't know if this will happen. Take it very lightly. I would like to see something like this, where we hold this support, right? We form another resistance, and we have a resistance, so we can long here, long the confirmation, long the breakout, and long this breakout, right? I went over this yesterday with my private analysis guys. That's what we're looking for a trade setup. Like, I'd like to see more of a range so it's easier to get in. What I don't want to see is us just pump. Now, if we do pump, it's not bad. We've got a lot of spot. I've got pretty much, I'd say 70% of the funds that I trade are in spot now. I've been buying spot the last couple of days and weeks because we've been dropping quite significantly. So if we do drop, right, or excuse me, if we do just pump and alts pump really hard, that's okay too. It just sucks that we don't get that trade. But taking a short, no, guys, the time to short is long over, right? I wouldn't short. You're probably not going to see me talking about shorts for at least a year. Yeah, the only time to short Bitcoin is if you like losing money. Yeah, pretty much. Hold on one moment. Crazy. But let's keep moving on. So Bitcoin dominance. I'd like to see a rejection in the short term, but guys, in the long term, and let's remove some of this. In the short term, I'd like to see this go back to support. Why? Because alts will bounce significantly, right? But ultimately, you're looking at a bull flag. Ultimately, you're looking to go upwards. So macro, Bitcoin dominance is going to go up. Bitcoin's still going up, right? Bitcoin's going to lead the bull market for probably the next 4 to 5 months. But what I'd like to see is just a little altcoin pump, and then we break through like this. We're rejecting resistance. But if we break out this week, again, no problem. That probably means Bitcoin's going to break all-time highs, though. Do I believe the crypto market is more appealing than the stock market? No, because there's a lot of taboo with crypto. I think it's more appealing to me because it's easier to trade. You can also make more gains a lot faster. But traditionally, no, not until the older generations die out. You have to remember, people that are over like 45, like, don't even know what crypto is. Like, I had to explain to someone like what crypto is, what the blockchain is, how Bitcoin works. They're like, what if you just print more Bitcoin? Like, no, not possible. Had to go through all that. Like, most people don't even know what crypto is and what it does. So the younger generations do, but technically they're not legally allowed to invest. Like, anyone that's 12 to like 18, that younger generation, I'd say like lower 20s are kind of getting into it, but a lot of people don't even know what crypto is. So, yeah, Dory, that's what I'm hoping for. Nice little setup. Get in there. Get a nice trade. Thoughts on XLM or XRP? XRP is trash. XLM could be a good trade, but I don't hold either. Like EM, it's not that I don't want the crypto market to be appealing, but you have to remember there's so much taboo. Like, also, our government tells you have to, look at your average person right now. They listen to everything the government tells them. Our government keeps saying how bad crypto is and how sketchy it is and how, criminals use it. When, if you compare crypto to the U.S. banking system, there's like 1,000 times more crimes committed with the U.S. dollar compared to crypto. Like, I think even percentage-wise, the dollar is like 10 times more into criminal activity than crypto is. So There's a lot of misconceptions. There's a lot of taboo. You know, there's too many old people, and all the old people have the money. So if they're not putting their money into it, no one cares. So will there be a day where crypto is used, you know, significantly more than it is now? Likely. Like, we're going into a technological advance, and the newer generations are picking up steam. So, the rise of Bitcoin, do you see a friend of younger generations inheriting gold and then selling it to invest in cryptocurrency? So, you know what I told someone? And I actually had someone tell me that they had a bunch of gold, and I said, why? And this guy was like, he's like 45. He's in his 40s, 45 maybe. He was like, I was like, why do you have gold? It's completely useless. And he's like, oh, you know, like storing whatever, it's a store of value. I'm like, here's the thing, man. Like, ultimately, your gold, like, think worst case scenario. The dollar is worthless. We get nuked. We go to war. The end of the world, something. You know, everyone's like living like it's The Walking Dead or whatever, right? Zombies, whatever. The fuck is your gold going to do for you? Like, all these people, like, I honestly think gold is a gigantic scam. Unless you're buying jewelry, it is the biggest scam ever. Because here's the deal. You're buying gold. Now, if you're trading gold, that's different. If you're buying gold low and selling it high, okay, good for you. But if you're holding gold as a store of value and the world ends, right? Let's put it this way. If I have bullets and you want to buy my bullets and you're giving me gold, I'm going to tell you to go fuck off because your gold's completely useless. Right now, if I have bullets and you have fishing hooks or fishing line, or maybe you have meat, or maybe you have clean access to clean drinking water, then we can talk about trading bullets for drinking water, bullets for this, or whatever, right? If you can't tell, I have a lot of bullets. And I'm not joking. My thing is, what is gold going to get you if the world ends, or we have a major crisis? Your gold's going to, like, no one's going to want your gold. No one's going to care. So to me, people that buy gold, you're just getting scammed. Like, it's so easy to play these older people with money. Like, oh, you know, if the world ends, you need gold to keep your value, you know, all this, all that, you know, keep whatever. It's like, you're not keeping shit. Like, your gold's completely useless. Buying property is way better than buying gold at 100%. Because properties rise a lot more than gold does. Also, property maintains value, right? And honestly, like, let's say end of the world. Now it's the end of the world buying property. You know, someone's just going to kill you for land. But you get the point. Where's the dog? One of the dogs is behind me. I can call him over. Hold on. Loki. Come here. I don't think he's going to get up. Oh, here he comes. You'll see him in a second. This is the puppy. He's 80 pounds now. Here. He's 80 pounds. So, all the dogs are doing good. They're really tired. We went to Chicago for St. Patrick's Day. I left the dogs at dog daycare, and I guess they played themselves to. I mean, they pretty much sleep for like a week after I take them to dog care or like dog whatever. Why is my room so empty? So for those of you who don't know, I rent a house. This is my basement. I've been waiting to buy a house for the last 2 years. We don't know if we're going to build or if we're going to just buy something huge. I always get the, you live in your mom's basement. Like, no, I don't. I don't live in my mom's basement. I wish I did. My bills would be a lot less. But no, we're trying to move back to South Florida. I actually moved here during COVID. My grandparents are 80. I wanted to spend more time with them. But the goal is to move back to Florida. So if you're a realtor in Tampa, we're looking at Tampa, hit me up. If you can help me out, I'm looking for a 4 to 5 bedroom with a pool and a little bit of a yard so I can have the dogs like outside. In a neighborhood that I can either have a fence or build a fence. So if you're a realtor in Florida, hit me up. Discord's open, Twitter's open. But yeah. Yeah, Loki's he's a funny. I think he's got a tick in his ear, so I'm gonna have to get that. It's like right behind his head. I didn't know you were in the Midwest. I live in NWI. Oh, wait. NW. What is NW? I don't know what that is. Not a gold bug, but a gold has history, like salt and other things. Needed some instrument to exchange things, cause exchanging food for food. For example. Yeah, but when it's the end of the world, people want bullets. And I understand, like, maybe there will be a use case of, like, human civilization comes back together, sure. But for me, if it's the end of the world, I want bullets. I want bullets, fishing hooks, fishing line. I want rice. I want meat. Oh, Northwest Indiana? Oh, nice. I live in basically like northern Kentucky, southern Ohio, that area. I used to live in Miami, Florida, and then I moved back here to see the family. I've lived down south like for the last 6, 7 years, 8 years, and wanted to move back and see family and friends and everything. But we've also talked about moving to Puerto Rico. There's no capital gains tax there, so that's a possibility too. But Tampa, Florida is where we're looking. Oh, I have live videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I couldn't this Monday because we drove back from Chicago. Friday I plan on doing it. Fridays are going to be harder for me in the summers because I'm usually outside. All right, let's look at if you're and just real quick, if you're late to the stream, go back. I cover everything, and then I answer questions or anything at the end. But yeah, I'd really like to see a range. Me and Dorian are on the same page as always. Really like to see a range. Also, during this range, I forgot to add, alts will probably bounce very nicely. So if we can get that, super happy. Right? I mean, and that kind of has some confluence with Bitcoin dominance. Like Bitcoin dominance is rejecting resistance. If we get that kind of slow drop, alts will do very well, right? Ethereum will do very well. Sorry, the phone keeps blowing up. Is it hard to live in Florida, do that high humidity? Yeah, your body adjusts to it. It's like, if you ever heard about living in, like, out west in Colorado, where you have, like, lower oxygen, right? Because you're not, like, in the mountains, but you're, like, up higher in altitude. Your body adjusts. I don't know. I really like now that I'm, especially after this bull run, and this is part of the reason I know someone's gonna be like, oh, you live in because you don't do shit. Like, no, dude, no, that's not. Anyways, another reason why we're renting the house, if we are truly in a bull run, and I pick the net worth I have now and 10x it. I mean, now you're looking at a different living situation, right? Now we can get something maybe on the beach or maybe on the water with a dock and a boat versus getting something inland that's, 4 to 5 bedrooms and a pool and everything. But, you're talking about $1 million difference in a home, right? I'm already planning to spend $1 million on a home, but if I can get a $2 or $3 million home, I'm all for it. That's kind of the other reason why we're renting. Trust me, I would move out of this house in a second if we weren't like seeing what we're seeing now. The other thing is like the bed upstairs, like I've been needing to get like a king bed, like a king size bed. I have a queen just because I've had it for years. So like that's the problem. Like I've lived in this house for like the last 2 to 3 years and I didn't want to like upgrade the furniture or buy a new bed because those are all things we have to move. So is it a pain in the ass? Yeah. Is the room empty? Yeah. But that's all because we're planning to move probably within the next year, especially if we get a bull run. I will probably visit Europe. I'll probably go back to Sicily, Italy, where my family's from. Yeah, that's the other thing. I think it's Javier. Yeah, that's like the other thing. Like, why would I put all this capital into a home now when I put it all in like Bitcoin and alts and shit? Like, I have a fund for the home that I think I'm going to get. that's just sitting in money markets, actually 2 accounts because I'm over the FDIC limit. Anyways, for anyone that still thinks I know none of you guys do. There's always like one person. There's always one person. It's like, oh, you live in a piece of shit, and someone figures out where I live. I'm like, all right, I'm like, okay, cool, dude. Like, good for you. Should I sell my 100 ounces of silver and buy fetch? Man, I think that you should do whatever you're comfortable with. Yeah, I've heard Australia is pretty cool. I really want to fish in Australia. Really, really want to. All right, guys, I'm going to end it there. I want to eat. I haven't eaten today. As always, be patient, users management. Good luck trading. Oh, and I forgot to add one more thing. Thank you to Coincatch for sponsoring the stream. You get a 15% fee reduction for life if you use my link. It's in the description and it's pinned to Twitter. Check it out. I love them. I've never had an issue. I also post updates. Like if Coincatch gives me updates on stuff, like for example, they had to stop TAO withdrawals and TAO buying and deposits because there was a TAO update. I forget, it was like some kind of update, and they informed me on that, right? And if there are coins that you guys want added to Coincatch, I can ask them to add them for you. I actually had them add TAO for me. That way I could move it there and anyone else could use it.